Ex-girlfriend caught cheating with host at our Airbnb. Men don't ever reconcile. Once you leave, stick to your guns. I thought because I didn't have hard evidence that reconciling was okay. I figured she could be right, but coincidence after coincidence is too much. My ex-girlfriend proved that she was the 304 I thought she was. When we took a trip to Wisconsin and she slept with the host of our Airbnb in the Airbnb. We rented a room in an Airbnb for one day. We were to get a cabin for the following 3 days. I should have known when my ex-girlfriend seemed to melt when our host met us moving into our room. He just wanted to introduce himself. I saw it all over my girlfriend's face, but again I was thinking, it's my own insecurity. I guess it makes sense to start back to previously, before that day happened. So I met my ex-girlfriend in 2017. A year hadn't passed yet of us dating exclusively when I broke up with her. So we met in March 2017, and up until September, things just kept happening. And it was coincidence after coincidence, and she would deny and tell me all the time that I was just in my head and I needed to get out of my head. So like most people around that time, and today, I met my girlfriend online. Not a dating app, but on Instagram. Might as well call that dating app, I guess. Everybody's in each other's direct messages on there, but she's a girl that I followed that was living within my city. I remember the day I followed her. I wanted to talk to her. My ex-girlfriend is very, very attractive. She's not a model or anything, but she definitely loves taking pictures. She knows what she looks like, body and face. She's a very pretty girl, but I've learned my lesson about extremely pretty women. Not saying all of them are this way, but the ones I've come across, they're just big-headed. If they're getting hit on in person on a daily basis, plus getting hit on every day online, why would they ever feel the need to settle down with one person? I'll see if I was a celebrity or something, and I was super well known, yeah, maybe she'd want to settle down with me and be loyal until she finds another that's more famous. That's that hypergamy you guys talk about. I say you guys because I was never that familiar with this space until this happened to me. I started reading a lot of stuff online and hearing a lot of videos and watching a lot of popular guys on the internet talk about alpha male things, specifically alpha strategies. He was one that caught my attention, but I never delve into this and called myself alpha man or a red pill or anything like that. It's pretty much on sometimes to get me motivated, sometimes just to remind myself, but I don't stay on and listen every single day. I'm usually learning about something and watching DIY videos and videos based around my career. So after I started following my ex-girlfriend on Instagram, I knew I wanted to talk to her. I saw that she lived within my city, and she actually visited a lot of places I'd frequent. So I kind of did some creepy stuff. I try to show up to places she'd frequently go because she would always say exactly where she was in the pictures. One time she was live. It was on a Saturday, and she was down at the park, a park that I was very familiar with. I actually used to train there in the field. I'll do workouts and things like that, but anyway, I saw that she was there at the park. She took a picture of her lunch sitting on a nice picnic blanket, and she had a bunch of books spread out, saying she's going to enjoy herself. I drove straight there and decided I'll work out and try to bump into her. She's sitting by that tree that I noticed near her. Guys, I know this is extremely creepy. I think about it now and can't believe I did this. I agree 100% women or men. This is creepy. Don't do this. I can honestly tell you all, though I did not have any bad intentions at all, I really liked her and I wanted to talk to her. I get there and I'm walking through the field and I see her sitting over there, looking down with phone in hand. She was just scrolling. Those books seemed to just be sitting in the same position, and she was eating her food, but she was on her phone the whole time. I looked at her Instagram and she had posted a bunch of pictures of the book being open, her reading things like that. I get there and I start doing some training. I lay out my agility ladder. So in high school and college, I played football, a D2 college, and I was decent in high school, but one thing I loved was working out and the training. I kept it up, and it kept me in great shape. I do some of the same type of training all the time. I just enjoy doing it. And whenever I can get my buddies to, we'd play football. She was there the entire time I was there, but I was too afraid to go up to her. I didn't know what to say. Maybe jog over there within her vicinity and apologize, then try to strike the conversation. Guys, I played so many scenarios in my head and I could not figure out what to do. So, needless to say, I never talked to her at the park that day. I left before she did. I just kept looking at her Instagram to see if she'd go to stream again. She posted a couple pictures. The last picture I remembered said, "Wow, that was such an amazing chapter time to head home." I started to fix up my Instagram. I had a lot of pictures of scenery and places I'd visit, but me not in the pictures so much. So I started taking pictures of me in the mirror, flexing and things like that. Traveling, taking selfies, going all through my photos and finding old photos. I just wanted to look nice because my plan now was to slide into her direct messages. That's exactly what I did. She'd post something and I started commenting frequently to the point where she started responding to me. The first 10 or so comments, she wouldn't say much, but I assumed she ended up looking at my Instagram eventually because maybe she thought, well, this same guy keeps commenting on my stuff. But when she replied back with a heart, I felt like I was in there. I remember the exact picture too, and the comment. Guys, so she was standing by a leprechaun statue wearing beads. She was kind of turned to the side. Her body is amazing. Very slim with a bubble on the backside. I commented and said, "Wow, that leprechaun looks so cool." I didn't really acknowledge her, but I kind of knew somehow, some way. She'd like this comment and know that I probably was really looking at her behind, like she intended for everyone to look at, but all I did was call out the leprechaun. It worked. She liked my comment, so I slid into her direct messages. I told her that I frequent that bar that she was at in that picture, and I asked her what she liked about it and did she have fun. I asked if it was her first time going there. She didn't respond to me until the next day. I kept checking my Instagram to see if she was replying to me, and she didn't until that next day. I woke up, and after doing some things, I opened up my phone and I saw that she messaged me. She replied and said, "Oh, yes, I've been there a couple times, and I had a great night that night." I replied back and said, "Wow, okay, cool, I go there all the time. Are you originally from here? I've never seen you around, by the way. I'm so rude. My name is Joseph." She replied, "Nice to meet you." She told me her name. Nicole and I hit the ground running. I knew I was in there. We were just back and forth with conversation, and I asked her if I could call her, and she gave me her number. We talked for a while. I set up a date. Here I am going out with the hot girl that I first started following on Instagram. I was following this girl since December, the year prior, and I finally got the guts to slide into her direct messages, and it freaking worked. At this time, I wasn't listening to a lot of those red pill guys or alpha guys at all. I never really had trouble with women or had issues with women. Yeah, I dated women and we'd get into arguments, or I'd catch them flirting with another guy here and there. But I don't think I've ever been cheated on. Maybe I have, and I just don't know. Never had the mindset of every woman is that way. I was just being a man. I saw a woman that was attractive, and I wanted her, and honestly, I just got her. I learned my lesson. It was just my turn. So Nicole and I started dating, and we were having a lot of fun. I've met a lot of her friends. She introduced me to her friends almost immediately. So I started asking my friends to come hang out with us because she had a lot of girlfriends, and some of my friends did hook up with some of her friends. It was just good times. I will say in the beginning, it was just fun. Really fun. Neither one of us was trying to lock each other down. Hey, be my boyfriend. Hey, be my girlfriend. Questioning each other about going out with friends or being clingy. It was nothing like that. It was just fun. When we made it official is when things started to go downhill. Unfortunately, I was the one to ask her to be exclusive. I learned that that was a huge mistake. I shouldn't push that as a man. Let her do it. Let her chase you. These are things that I eventually learned, and I guess I had to learn it the hard way. It was about a month, and when I told her that I really liked her and I could see myself being exclusive with her, those are my exact words. She told me, well, to be honest with you, I've been exclusive with you. I don't talk to anyone else. I don't want anyone else. I really like hanging out with you. So are you asking me to put a label on us? I said, I guess I am. I don't know. She then says, okay, you can be my boyfriend. We both smiled. Today I realized that, she said, you can be my boyfriend. She didn't say anything about us being a couple or being exclusive to each other or her being my girlfriend. She simply said, and I'm telling you guys her exact words, you can be my boyfriend. At the time, guys, I didn't think nothing of it. But after super chatting a YouTuber and pretty much giving them the very, very short story of that moment exactly, he called me out. He even said, dude, she told you that you, YOU, can be her boyfriend. What did you think? Why would you be so stupid? She was going to use you. She never wanted you in the first place. At the time, I didn't think about any of that. But when this YouTuber told me this, I felt so dumb. But like I said, I had to learn the hard way. So we started dating exclusively. Well, let me say what it really was. I started dating Nicole exclusively, and I was enjoying myself in the very beginning, meaning the first week. But after that, it's almost like she started to test me. She was calling off dates. She was canceling time that we were supposed to spend together. Her friend's sick, and she needed to be there for her mother's needs. Excuses, excuses. Every time it was time to do something. I set up reservations for us and spent money. She coincidentally had an emergency. One night she told me she was with her friend that was sick and not to wait up for her, and she'd call me in the morning, and she was going to be with her all night. My buddy called me and told me she was at a party having a grand old time, drinking with girlfriends. She wasn't with any guys or anything, but still, she lied to me. I was going to break up with her. I told her we were done in the beginning of the conversation. Me, oh, surprised you answered. Have fun last night? Just so you know, we're done. You're a liar. You're wasting my time and my money. You told me you were going to be with your friend all night, but instead you go to a party? Nicole, babe, I'm so sorry. First of all, how do you know I was at the party yesterday? Kind of creepy that you were following me. Me, I didn't follow you. Brad told me that you were there. The only reason he called and told me is because I was on the phone with him last night, ticked off about you canceling on me for the 7th time. He wanted me to go out with him. It would have been very awkward if I did go out with him and saw you there at the party, but instead he saw you and he called me and told me that you were there because he knew that you weren't going to be out because you were helping your so-called friend, Nicole. Well, I still think it's creepy that he's spying on me and calling you to tell you my whereabouts, but that's neither here nor there. Listen, I'm sorry for what I did, and I understand your frustration with me canceling on us all the time. It's just a coincidence. Things just keep happening, but I don't want to lose you. I really like you, and I think we should. Keep going with this. I don't want us to break up. Me. How do you intend on making things better? Do you realize how much money I spend on getting hotel rooms for us, and you cancel on me? Setting up reservations for boat tours and dinners, and you cancel on me. Money that I couldn't get back. Do you know how frustrated I was when I drove out to your place and you left me outside and said that you fell asleep? You text me that night asking me to come over there. You don't even answer the door. It's like you're playing games with me in my face. Nicole, I absolutely understand. And I can't tell you how to feel, but I believe you. I believe that you are frustrated with me. I believe that I made you angry a bunch of times. But I can assure you that I didn't do anything on purpose, and I apologize. You know how I am. I can fall asleep just like that sometimes, even mid-conversation. I swear to you, I really do like you and I don't mean to make you upset. I don't want to be that person to make you upset. You're really a good guy and I'm glad I've met you. I can't tell you what to do, but I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose this. Guys, Nicole had me so convinced that I was overreacting. This woman was good. She had been practicing this for a long time. Me. All right, well, we don't have to break up. Just be mindful and get it together. I really like you too. What are you doing? Want to go have some breakfast? Nicole, oh my gosh, I'm starving. Yes. Can we go to Denny's, please? And I'll pay. We end up meeting at Denny's. It was an even drive for us. We met in the middle in a different township. We're eating, laughing. I'm having a good time talking, and she's telling me things that happened at the party. There was a scuffle and everything, and my friend actually confirmed this with me, but it ended the party and the police showed up. Anyway, we have breakfast and the check comes. The waitress asks, "One check?" Nicole pretends she didn't hear anything. She just had her head down. She was acting like she was going through her phone looking for something. And I just said, "Yeah, one check." The lady put the check down and we're just talking and talking and the check is sitting there and I'm looking at her wondering if she's going to pick up the check, look at it, at least. I start pulling out a card and she does nothing. I say to Nicole, "I thought you said you were going to pay for this." And I said it in a joking way while reaching for my wallet and she says, "Oh, I forgot. I'm so sorry." She starts going through her bag and pushing my hand back, reaching over the table, saying, "Stop. Put your wallet back." She goes to her purse and says, "I'm sorry, I forgot my wallet. I don't have any cash on me or my cards." I said, "Don't worry about it. You know I got it. I paid for Denny's." I know within the comments, people will tell me how silly I am, how much of a doormat I was. She was using me. I've learned this. I'm just telling you this story. This is what happened to me. I know I was stupid. Trust me. I've been chewed up before and I've never told the entire story. Not just by people online, but by my own friends. Nicole straightened up for about a month, I'd say. Then she started again, with the same stuff this time. I started to notice that when we were around each other, she'd put her phone face down. It was so obvious. One time, we were at my house, sitting at my table, and she was on her phone, texting, telling me that she needed to text her friend something real quick, but she should get off of her phone because I'd complained about that before. Being on the phone while we were together, she said, "Okay, done," and put the phone down, I noticed, but I didn't say anything for a minute. We kept talking. I grabbed her phone and flipped it over. She jumped so fast to grab her phone. What? I said I was just flipping your phone over because you keep putting it face down. It's a bit weird, don't you think? I told her to look at my phone. My phone is never face down. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even notice I was putting it face down. That's just something I kind of do." I said, "Well, you didn't do it before, and I noticed it. Now, so that's not something you do on a regular basis." She grabs my face and tries to kiss me. I back off a little bit, and I say, "Is there something you need to tell me? Are you hiding something from me?" She says, "Oh my gosh, can we not argue? I miss you. You can trust me." I said, "All right." I noticed she flipped her phone right back over face down. We started kissing, and we ended up doing the do. Moments like this just went on and on. It felt like every month it just got a little worse. Coincidence after coincidence. Her canceling dates. Her being sneaky. It just bothered me to the core. I complained, and she'd tell me to get out of my head. She told me as long as I stayed in my head, I'm going to keep thinking stupid stuff. She's not doing anything. She would never cheat on me because she's been cheated on before and she knows how it feels. She never wants to do that to anyone. And she told me how she believes in karma and she knows karma is real, so she'd never betray me like that. Before she cheated on anybody, she'd leave the relationship. There's no point in staying with somebody and cheating on them. Guys, I just kept believing her. I'd work myself up, telling myself I'm going to break up with her, but she just tell me these things and I just freaking believe her. and she'd come over and go down on me and we have sex and I just forget all about it. It's almost like she had a spell on me. I'm not going to lie to you all. It was up until September 2017. I really got fed up. Let me tell you guys exactly what happened. So she'd come to stay the night at my house. We had an amazing evening and she was going to stay until the morning but leave because she had to work the following morning on a Sunday, but her job was so chill. Sometimes she'd take naps and that was her plan. If we were to stay up all night, she was just going to take a nap at work. We actually fell asleep at midnight, so we got some pretty good sleep. I ended up waking up at 4 a.m. going to the restroom. Something just told me to check her phone. I never heard any dings or notifications or anything. Phone calls, in fact, I believe she had her phone on silent, and I was always suspicious about that. Whenever she was around me, her phone stayed on silent, so I didn't notice anything. So I checked her pants pockets, and there was her phone in her pocket. I grabbed. As soon as I swipe up, I see a notification at 4:29 a.m. I remember this like it was yesterday. There was the name of the guy, and his name was Wilson. I'm sitting there. I tried to unlock her phone. I'm thinking of a passcode, and I could not figure it out. I'm trying to do that, and Wilson sends another message. 4:47 a.m. The notification pops up, but I can't read the text message or even part of it. Usually you're able to see some of a message, but somehow, some way I couldn't see anything. In my head, why is there a Wilson texting my girlfriend at 4 in the morning? I didn't say anything, and eventually I fell asleep. I woke up to Nicole gone. I knew she was going to be leaving, but I was hoping to catch her before she left. Nicole texts me at noon, and my replies were really short, and she tells me that she knows something is wrong, just by how I'm texting. She ends up calling me after her lunch while she was working. Like I said, her job was pretty chill, so she could be on the phone as long as she wanted, or even take a nap if she wanted. She's asking me what's wrong with me, and she eventually calls me. She tells me I know something is wrong. What's bothering you? Let me know. I said so. I saw that there was someone texting you at 4 a.m. Guy named Wilson. Who is that? What is that about? Why would a guy be texting at 4 a.m.? I know why I'd text a woman at 4 a.m. Nicole straight up tells me, no one texted me at 4 a.m. What are you talking about? Who the heck is Wilson? I said, Nicole, are you seriously gonna do this? You got a text message at 4 a.m. from Wilson. Why are you lying to me right now? I know you're lying. I saw it on your phone. Nicole says, hold on, give me a second. And she looks and says, oh my gosh, I do. I didn't know he texted me. I asked, who is that? Nicole says, oh my gosh, that's my stepbrother. So he was stranded downtown last night because he missed his bus and the next bus wasn't coming until like 6 and he needed a ride. He works late. Usually he gets rides. I said, really? Screenshot the conversation and send it to me? Nicole laughed and said, I'm not doing that. That's silly. If you don't trust me, then maybe you shouldn't be with me. I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. You have a nice life. I wasn't buying it. I didn't have time for this bull crap anymore. I was fed up. I always felt like she was lying to me, and I told myself even if she's telling the truth, I'm better off without her. I hung up on Nicole, and she called me back. She's asking me, are you serious? Why would you do this? I just told you what the conversation was. You're going to leave me for something that's in your head. I said, if it's just in my head, prove it. Send me text messages, the thread with your brother in it. She says, again, I shouldn't have to do that. That's a horrible relationship to make me do this. I said, well, have a nice life. Please don't ever call me again. Don't text me. Go play with someone else. I don't want to play this game anymore. It's not fun. I hung up. I didn't hear from Nicole until October, around my birthday. So I had planned on visiting Wisconsin and staying in a cabin for 3 days. Nicole reaches out to me. She says, happy early birthday. It wasn't my birthday yet. I didn't say anything else. She messages me and says, what are you planning on doing? I told her what I was going to be up to, going to Wisconsin, and I told her the dates I was going. Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to go there. I have an uncle that lived there too. That's cool. Long story short, she talks me into going earlier than I planned. So initially, we were supposed to stay with one of her family members that fell through. I was now going a day earlier. She wanted to go with me and said that she wanted to do some stuff for me for my birthday, buy me things, and pretty much pay for our dinners and stuff like that. I didn't plan on going with anybody else, and honestly, I knew I'd be getting laid, so I was okay with that. Leading up to the time that I was officially supposed to go, this was more than a week before she's telling me about Airbnb. And I told her that I've heard of it, but I've never used it before. We ended up booking with the host that was sharing a room. And she's telling me, well, we can go there, stay for a day, and then go to the cabins. The next day, I had a hard time finding a hotel to get before the time I was supposed to go. She thought that I should extend my trip a little longer because just 3 days in a cabin is not much of a vacation. So I guess adding one extra day would help. I fell for it. Guys, leading up to that time, we ended up getting back together. She gave me this long, drawn out reason for her behavior and said that she regrets letting me go and that she actually was in love with me. Guys, I fell for this so hard. We end up going to Wisconsin and we get to the Airbnb. She knew the lock code to get the key from the box so we can get inside. I didn't think anyone was there. We go to our room and we're putting our stuff in, and I'm honestly ready to get it on. But this guy comes to the door, scared the crap out of me. Tall guy, long hair. I look over at Nicole, and I swear she's drooling just looking at this dude. I just felt it. She had the hots for him. We introduce ourselves. He introduces himself, and he tells us that he's going to be out of our way. Of course, there's a shared kitchen. We have our own bathroom, but he'd be doing his own thing, and he'll be in and out. And he starts telling us restaurants we should go to. And we're telling him about the cabin that we're going to be staying at, and he's telling us how he's been there before and gives us information about the area we were going to be in. Nicole and I relax for a bit, and honestly, I try to start to sleep with her. She's pushing me away, saying, no, not right now. Let's wait till we get to the cabin. It's kind of weird if he's still here. And I told her, well, I just heard him leave out the door, and she's saying, oh, he might come back, and sure enough, he came right back. I don't know why he went outside, maybe to go to his car or something. She's on her phone. I'm on my laptop and she told me that she's hungry. I asked the dreadful question, what do you want to eat? She has no idea. Then she tells me, you know what? You should go shopping. I want to make you something for your birthday. I said, okay. She says, I want to make shrimp fettuccine, Alfredo, and I needed to pick up breadsticks. And she wanted to make the Alfredo from scratch. She was going to make it, so I had to go to local store to get everything. I asked her why she didn't come with me, and she says, well, I'm going to be here cooking, so I need to rest. I felt weird about it, guys. I had that gut feeling. I knew something was up. Something was wrong. She gave me the list of everything to get this time. She gave me her credit card. She was going to be buying all of it. She was going to be cooking. She went out to the kitchen to make sure she had everything she needed, and she said everything was there, so she sent me on my way. I walk into the living room to see if the host was still around, and he was sitting on his laptop. Again, I felt weird about this, but I said, you know what? Let's just do it. I headed to the grocery store, and I didn't make it 2 blocks before I decided to turn around. I was going to turn around and make up an excuse telling her that she needed to come with me. And if she wanted, she could just wait in the car, but I want her with me. Guys, it could not have been 5 minutes. There's just no way. I made it to my second stop sign and I turned around and headed back. I knew the back door was unlocked. I'd hoped it still was, and it was. I walk inside, and immediately, I hear Nicole and this guy having sex. Walking in from the back door, you can see his bedroom door down the hall a bit, and it was shut. I go up, and they are going at it. I open the door, and Nicole is getting it from this guy. He's on top of her. She pushes him off, and I say, "Really, Nicole? What the F is wrong with you? You've got some serious issues that you need to get straightened out." I go to the room and grab my things to pack in my car. Nicole eventually came out while I was in my car banging on my windows saying, "You can't just leave me here, stop." I pulled off. Guys, I drove to a truck stop. I occasionally got out and stretched, grabbed food, but I slept there in my car rental. I didn't block Nicole. She'd text and text, but I didn't read until the following morning. I saw one text that said, "Can you send me the boarding pass? Will I be able to get back home? Please respond." She never called me. She only texted me. I didn't respond to anything. It'll be nice to say I enjoyed 3 days in the cabin all by myself, and I did this and I did that. Guys, those 3 days in that cabin were horrible. My birthday came around. I'm reading happy birthday messages on Facebook, and I'm getting text messages and I'm responding, but whenever someone would call me, like a friend or a family member, I wouldn't answer. Eventually, they did text me, and I let him know that I was just enjoying my trip, and I'd reach back out to them later, but thanks for the birthday messages. Guys, I was miserable. This was hands down the worst birthday experience I've ever had. I didn't know how to make things better. When it was time to fly back home, I have no idea how Nicole got home or if she even did. I didn't see her in her assigned seat or anywhere on the plane. She'd never texted me again, and I'd never texted her again. I know I am to blame in that situation. I allowed so much to slide. Anyway, that's my story. Hopefully someone can learn from it.